All right, are we live? I hope so. This is fun. Okay. Hold on, let me find my live link here. We can join us on our fan page if you are. Comment there. I'm going to check in just a minute. I got to post in a couple more places and invite some more people. All right.
Okay, that's better.
Great. This is Alicia Stringer here, and now we have Pat McKeon. I can't even say your last name right. McKeon. When you're all nervous going, is this working? Is it live? Are we actually broadcasting?
Are we actually
Am I getting
live?
feedback? I hope so. I'm trying to check and make sure people are commenting and saying, yes, I can hear you. I do see you live finally. Because last week I tried it and my daughter pressed something on the video button and it was like all black. And I don't even know if people could hear me. It's weird. I was talking for about an hour, but that's okay. Good practice. So I'm glad you're on here, Pat. Have you ever experienced the Google Hangout?
I gotta tell you, I've never done a Google Hangout. I've been participating and listening to other people on them.
Right. And so now it's time to take action and be live and make sure it's all working out. People can hear you. Share some value that people are actually listening and taking care of her story. Would you like to go first and tell us just kind of why we're trying the Google Hangouts, why we're here, and what we're doing in life, you know, to help the other people?
Sure. Let me put my sweater on. It's cold in Bogota, folks.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and how many people do we have on this line? Alicia, can we tell?
I'm not sure. Let me see how I can figure that out. I'm new to it, too.
So this is really great, folks. First of all, thank you for coming on. Alicia, thank you for putting this together. Really, you know, as Alicia said, it's our first time doing a Google sharing and being in this room. And really the reason we wanted to do it is we just really want to provide value and get to know you and you get to know us. And, you know, just a little history on myself. You know, well, first of all, I'm from Manhattan, New York City, for those of you that don't know. And I was in real estate for about 22 years. I was very successful in real estate, but of course, you know, at some point you do get burnt out. And I was looking for another way, and I actually came upon a 100-day challenge, and I joined that challenge. And Alicia was part of that challenge as well. And basically, I got a lot out of the challenge, and really what I got was that I wanted to do online marketing full-time. And so here I am now. I think it's about a year and a half later since that first December 100-day challenge. I went on to lead other challenges for people. We led 3 challenges, and I'm now, you know, I just went from New York City to Panama City, and now I'm in Bogota, Colombia. So basically, what I'm doing with my life is just building my empire and having a great time while I'm doing it. And that for me is traveling and being with Alexandra and my beautiful kitty, Mr. Nose. So that's just a little bit about me, and the reason, again, we wanted to do this was to provide value for you. Put your wallets away, put your credit cards away. There's nothing to buy tonight. We just wanted to provide value, and one of the things we wanted to talk about, and then we'll have an open discussion, question and answers, is how to build a powerful team, but do it in a fast way. Because as we all know, slow is just, you lose a lot of momentum when you do things slowly. So we'll be talking about that. So Alicia, take it away. Why don't you share your vision and values and what you see here?
Oh, it's exciting. I am looking forward to hearing Lawrence Tam go from, oh my goodness, an insane amount of what he's been making this month.
Did you tell her that she can have candy?
Yeah, she's had a couple more.
She's had candy all afternoon, ever since she got home from school. Yes, she has. She's had candy all afternoon.
Pat?
Yeah. So it looks like you want to go take care of your little girl?
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, she's been wanting some candy all afternoon, and she's kind of still wanting that sweet tooth.
Okay. Do you need to go take care of it?
No, he'll take care of it. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, well, she probably wants to, like, Halloween is right around the corner, so.
I know, that's the bad part about buying Halloween candy early. I don't need to buy it until, like, the day of.
Day of, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would go crazy if I had candy around the house. It'd be gone in like an hour.
I can go stick it in the freezer and just forget it.
That's a good idea.
So I'm excited because I've taken and seen this company from about a year ago, and really I've known him for about 4 years, and it's exciting to actually being able to take action and doing the things that I've been networking for so long and with friends that I know, and really actually making things actually happen, because I've been making videos and MLSP has taught me how to market online and all the stuff that they've been teaching, and now it's finally like I can apply it and come true. And all the training that's in Empower Network is all the mindset and all the stuff that allows you to face those fears and just get it done. And I see, Lawrence had that fear that, there wasn't a way you can see that you can actually make the $10,000 a month, like, because you have to build so many teams, you have to build so many people, and David Wood just lays it out in just 2 people a day. And I don't see any other owners saying if you have, 10 people a day that you can call, that you're inviting to the calls, that you're going to be able to make $10,000 a month. So I love how he lays out the plan and saying this is possible for you to make $10,000 a month or whatever your goal is. And we're in a place where we're in the easy money method, and they've got webinars every day that says do these steps and this will work. And so
I love
people are calling me all the time going, but what do I do? What do I do? And the steps are laid out here. Here's your blog post. Copy, take that little mouse and you watch the screen, you scroll over. Copy and paste. And I think a lot of people didn't understand how to do that. There's so many technical challenges people have and going, it's too overwhelming, and I love how it's just made out simple. And I wanted to talk today about keeping that team, because you've never really seen people stay in a business quite so long. There's so many jumping around and going back and forth and everything. And that's where I wanted to share how we keep some teams in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You said something very important just now, and it's something that I actually also had to learn, and that is, excuse me while I'm looking at something here, but it was something I had to learn also, guys. We all learn something new every day, hopefully, and what I had to learn was basically stick to one program. As Alicia said, there's so many people ask, oh, how did you make $1,000 today? How did you make $200 today? How did you do this? How did you do that? And what happens is you tell somebody how to do something, and they either don't do it, or actually they either don't do it, and they're so scattered in so many different programs. And I was guilty of that as well. And one day it just hit me you know, what I have as a business tool is so powerful that I'm just going to stick to that one thing. And then other people tell me, oh, well, you know, what about additional sources of income? And well, what's fantastic about this particular business that we're in is that the funnel has different, you know, businesses, but it's all contained in one funnel. So your focus is still very, very focused into that, you know, just getting that link out to people. However, I do believe in additional sources of income, but if you realize the word, Alicia, is additional sources of income. So what we like to do with our teams and what we want to share with you on how you could do the same is once your people, once you and your people, or your team, are making $200, $300, $500, $1,000 per day, per week, when people start seeing money regularly and residually, that's an income.
Right. That's why people have to have a job, because they need that regular income. They're so scared of joining a business because they don't see the residual income every month that's going to be stable for them to stay in business, right?
Exactly. So it's very, you know, secret number one to how to build a team fast is really very simple, but again, it's also simple not to do. Can you hear me, Alicia?
Yes.
And that simple point is basically to ask your people when you're, you know, talking to people or talking to your prospect who might have called you or somebody on Facebook, what amount of money do you need per month to quit your job? You know, for some people it might just be $2,500 a month because it supplements, you know, the wife's income or the husband's income. Or it might be a single person who lives, you know, like I did in Panama City. It was very cheap to live there versus Manhattan. So the first secret is always ask your potential prospect or your potential teammate, what is the amount you need, and you might want to write this down. What is the amount you need to make per month so you can quit that horrible job and do this full time? So that's secret number one.
That's right.
And again, it's additional sources of income are wonderful once you get up to that amount that you do need per month to quit your job. So, you know, ask yourself personally, what is it that you need, you know, to see yourself doing? Like, I know I won't touch another company until I'm making $10,000 per month. Because once I'm making $10,000 per month and I see that coming in, you know, for 6 months, then I know I've cracked the code, so to speak. And then I can join something else.
Right.
The
Layer it
mistake
up.
people are making is they join 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 programs, and they're not making a dime, and then they're, you know, overwhelmed.
Where's your focus? Mm-hmm.
So what do you have to say on that, Alicia?
They're not truly wanting to help a true team. You have so many teams in so many different places. Where are you bringing them in? One place to get the training from you, to learn more about you, that's going to take them to the next level, what they need to do. There is a sheet I gave you here. I didn't really print it up, or I didn't even put it on Google Hangout, but I might do a screen share of drawing something here if I can figure it out. But this little triangle here, I don't even know if I can do it.
I think you could screen share it.
Screen share it? Okay. But there's a triangle that shows how you can really bring a team together, do different characteristics in there. I'm not gonna find it. Give me a little bit. It's gonna have open so many windows. Let me open it up. It's like a picture, but the first one is trust. So when you start on trust, how are people gonna trust you if you're, you know, when they see so many different programs, are like, where is your real focus? Where is your back end where is the real money being made?
Right. Exactly.
So why don't you explain that a little bit more, maybe in the funnel? Where's the real money being made, Pat?
Well, again, you and I are on the same team, so for us, and we'll be going over on when are we having our next Google Hangout? You said Thursday?
Yeah, let's do it Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
So, guys, put this in your calendars. Thursday, this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to have another Google Hangout. And this Google Hangout will actually be talking to you about the vehicle we're using, whereas we are in one company. But, however, we don't talk to people about our primary company right away. We let the system and the funnel walk them through, so to speak. So they start at A and they end up at Z, but it's all done in a very linear way that makes sense for people to want to join your business. And it also, Alicia made a very good point about people trusting you. Like, for example, there are no secrets anymore. You go on Facebook and you can pretty much tell a lot about people that are on Facebook. And so if you see, John every day or every week, promoting a new business or a new opportunity, whether it's a paid opportunity or free opportunity, you really have to wonder, what is going on? How can I, benefit from working with this person if they're all over the map? So Alicia will talk to you about secret number 2, but it really does have to do with not being all over the map. And talking about maps, there is the chart that Alicia has for us. Why don't you go ahead and walk us through the chart, Alicia?
Oh, good. I'm glad you could see it because it was kind of confusing to put it on the screen there. And so
you did a great job. Can you make it larger?
Okay, let me see.
Yeah, hit that button right there, and yeah, that's it. Great.
So the first one over here is, you've got to build trust, and that's the first thing you have in every relationship. And what is that weakness that you have with your team? What are you communicating to them as well? What your focus is? Are they hesitating to ask you because it's too overwhelming? What are they doing? What questions do they have? You really have to know their problems in order to build that trust. And you're going to find reasons why they're avoiding you, right? They're not coming to listen to your videos or what's going on. And so that's why they build this triangle here, maybe that absence of trust. And so that's what the first thing you have when you start to build a team. And the next thing here is the fear of conflict. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, this one's a little bit more challenging. You've got some conflict, personal checks. You've maybe controversial topics are ignored, or you waste time posturing and managing personal risks. So this conflict is a lot of that fear that people have in taking that next step. The first trust is they got in that first system. They said, okay, I'm going to be in your team. And then the fear is maybe they're not taking action. They're not doing what you're telling them to do. And this is the basic struggle right triangle, and people even doing depth. So you've got to have that trust. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're cutting out, but I can hear.
Oh, Pat froze up, and I don't know.
I'll be there.
Okay, and the first conflict is, are they taking action in what you are, and are they showing a commitment that you're doing their action plan, that they're trusting you in what you have to do? Am I still breaking up?
No.
Maybe I'm moving it on the screen. I don't know what's going on.
No,
Okay.
you're fine.
Have that commitment that you need to make sure you're close and analyzing you're analyzing what your team is doing, that confidence that they need to have in themselves to move them to that next step. So we've got to move from 0 to 10,000, and we've got to be committed to go through all those fears and struggles that we have to get there. It can take in different strategies on there. Just it's going in and out.
No, that's
Are
good.
you there,
That's
Pat?
very good.
This is the triple part.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can.
Okay, great.
So once you're
Great.
committed, you've made some successes. Yay!
Yay! We heard you. Great.
All right. We've gotten some accountability. You know, this is the time where you've found a partner now. You're committed to this business, and you're showing accountability to somebody out there in this team world. All right. That's showing you that you can get there to that next step, be successful. And you're going to hear from Lawrence, has the accountability partner with Toby Black. And that's so neat that, you know, they've never really profited from each other, I guess, in a way. They've always been like, they've worked together to move to the next level. Watch in this business on the couples that work together and how they're able to move to the next level. There's so many ways you can be accountable to more people to make sure you're moving to that next step. And you always have to network with other people to say, I'm doing this step. What is your feedback? Am I doing it right? You know, just showing accountability. This is what I'm doing. One thing, Pat, we showed each other accountable for doing videos, right?
Yeah.
Remember that? 2 a day for a month.
Right.
How'd you do?
Well, I didn't do as well as you did. You really did that 2 a day. I was doing about 1 a day.
Yeah, you did good.
You know, the point is that, you know, again, you hit it on the head, guys. Secret number 2 to building a team fast, in my opinion, is accountability. It's such a it's something we really don't talk that much about, do we, in our trainings and in our mindset. But I think that, you know, for me personally, having an accountability partner is just a really powerful way for me, and also I would imagine for people who are a bit on the ADD side, because I focus on 6 different, you know, projects at once, so I'm not really 1,000% focused on that one. But if I have an accountability partner, and I say to him and her, because I have 2, you know, okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this amount of videos. I'm going to learn how to use the Google Hangout. So now I have people that at the end of the day, you know, we are accountable to each other. And it's not just like, you know, I mean, listen, if you don't do the work that you told your accountability partner you're going to do, the best thing they could do is basically kick you in the butt and or, you know, say, listen, I can't work with you anymore because you're not keeping your word. So that's how it is, you know, with me. So I would say secret number 2 to be building a fast team is hold yourself accountable, and also create a structure with your team where you don't want to handhold. Of course, you don't want to handhold, because then you'd be on the phone with them all day, and you don't want to do that. One of my sponsors always used to say to me, make Google your best friend and make YouTube your best friend. Any question can be answered on those 2 platforms. So again, you know, be accountable to somebody. Find an accountability partner who basically is going to kick your butt. You know, not let you get away with it when you don't do your work or what you said you were going to do. Number 1, and number 2, have a structure where your team. First of all, communicate with your team. Send them out emails. Email is the best way, I think, and or Facebook to communicate with your teams. And have them be accountable to themselves in finding an accountability partner. And I think you'll be able to see a really great difference in building your team really just very powerfully that way. What do you think, Alicia?
Yes, excellent. I've seen many people do their accountability in their Facebook groups. You know, have a little stream of what they need to be accountable for. You know, you hear Tracy Walker and her team says, okay, here's our post. What did you bring in 2 a day? And Lawrence starting doing that on his wall. There's just different places, you know, what are you accountable for? And people have been suggesting, okay, what did you do today, just to show you're accountable. And you know what, I remember doing this way back with another friend when I first joined MLSP. We're like, okay, let's email each other what, like 10 things you accomplished today, or, you know, just what you accomplished. And that helped me so much going, I did something today, and I could show that it made a difference in my business.
Absolutely. Great. Great. So moving on, it's what time is it? 8:30. We know we have Empower Network call tonight with Dave and Dave, and they're going to be interviewing Lawrence Tam, who Alicia mentioned is already up to $100,000, and it's not even the end of October yet. So this is like something really incredible that we must listen to and you know, utilize for our own growth of our business. But we did talk about 2 things, how to build a team fast. And the first one was, Alicia, you want to say what the first one was?
Yeah, let's go back to the triangle. We have with trust. People have to know how to trust you. Best way is through videos, through your emails, how you communicate to people, just being real in what you have to offer. You know, people have to trust you that what you're saying is right.
Right, and also with that trust comes, you know, what I talked about, which is about, you know, sticking to one program at a time instead of always, you know, showing your team that you're in 6 different programs and basically making, you know, $1 on each, or, you know, $10 on each. So that is all in the trust bucket. And then number 2 is accountability. And
conflict.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess people on this team, I guess people on this Google Hangout, is there a way we could find out how people would, you know, do people want to build their teams powerfully and fast? Are people interested in building their teams powerfully and fast? Is there a way of finding that out?
Yes, I have a hard time getting to the YouTube stream because I think I have too much up here.
Okay, how do we get to the YouTube stream?
I put it in the let me put it in the Hangout for you.
Thanks.
If it goes there. I think my computer's just going to run down until I load up. There's a little delay too, I think, so it's kind of tricky for me to hear it.
Okay, it's fine.
Let's see.
Chat. What about the chat? Yeah, group chat.
Oh. Oh, that's not right. Let me go back. Yeah, I want to make sure if everybody thinks this is useful, please do like and share in there. Do make some comments. And I think the chat for us, Pat, on the...
Oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. On the... Oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. There. Okay. Aisha said the Biz Builder Challenge was a great way to start.
Right. Keeping my video live. some reason on the
Alicia, are you there? Hello? Did I lose you? Hello?
okay. Huh. Am I still live? I wish I could figure it out. Oops, try again. Oops, try again. Okay. If I'm still live, I hope somebody can see it. Let me see if I can. I wanted to say, did I freeze again? This is so I'm on air. That the powerful thing I wanted was, oh, if you share it, let me know. Maybe I can impact it. I think it's my computer. It's all slowing down because I've got too much up. Oops. Forget it. Forget it. Powerful tip, powerful tip. The last one in the top of the triangle was attention to results. Did I lose you again? It keeps opening up in new windows for me. I think it's so funny. I think maybe it's just keep opening up new view streams. This is crazy. Thanks, thanks.
Hey, we got lost there. Are you there? Hey, there you are.
Oh, this is crazy. Hey, I hope so. Okay, I'm still trying to figure it out. Hold on. There I am. I have like so many different windows. When it goes crazy, it opens up like all these windows, and like I don't even know why they opened. I think it's funny. Okay, maybe I'm in this one. Are you there? I froze up again trying to close out windows. Okay, I look like I'm live. Powerful tip. The last one on the triangle was inattention to results. A lot of people are not sharing the results, and I can say that I'm guilty of that too. I love to share other people's results because they're amazing, like Lawrence's Tam's results of how many people he's gotten into the master's course this month. But I really need to share going, I have brought someone all in too. I have brought in a pretty good team and have a powerful team that's growing faster than I am. And when you're able to leverage other people's results, your team just super exposes and grows a lot faster. So I wanted to share that top powerful tip, even though Pat may have left the room and I don't know what happened to our last little screen here. I keep trying, but I don't get it. Maybe I'll add some different weird apps. Maybe she'll come out. Let's see. Everybody's got to check out this Google Hangout. There's so many cool apps in here. Now you can just spend like 2 days on just all the crazy apps they have. If you add this one that's like Google Effects, it's the most I don't even know if you can see it. It might even mess up my computer, right? You just blame something else. All right. Crown me and put in the cake. This is what you gotta take a picture of. We'll just have a party, add some drums. Right. Don't worry about the mask. Something is coming. Did she come in? Let's see. I don't know. I'm missing the room. So that's the fun. People join in. You can create your own show. Now, powerful tip is that you can just create your own like Google Hangout show and do your own little tidbit and learning. And this is live recorded. So you don't think that you have to have anything but a webcam and make a fun video from just a Google Hangout. So there's a lot of tips you can learn and share just by just taking practice in doing the Google Hangout. Now I'm kind of brave and making sure it's live and everybody knew to come see this Google Hangout, but there's so many things that you can add to it. Making the time go by because we're way at the top of the hour. If you guys can't get into the broadcast, I'm going to try to get it on my phone or somewhere where you can get into the call, because I know it's a challenge to get on this live call. It'd be sad if you missed it because you have to catch the recording. Which you should be doing anyways. And getting your teams on it. Right. Now I'm clicking too many buttons. I'm frozen up again. I wonder how much is this broadcasted. I just want to go back and watch it and be laughing myself. All right. I really think it's my computer, and I want to apologize, you guys, for that, because I know there's so much to figure out. There you go. A little delayed reaction in there. I'm pausing to make sure everybody's in there. Okay, so I guess you guys are still on. I wish I could see some comments, guys. Say howdy. There are some more things that I wanted to see if you can comment on. See if I can bring up that sheet again, because there's some tips of I want you to look at and see which one really applies to you, because there's different tips. And I'll just go in this document on a blog post or in the and put in the comment stream of where you can find it. I'm not finding out how to do the screen share. Oh wait, there. I can find that document again. Okay. So back on the document, make sure I'm in the Hangout. You can see it, I think. Trying to figure out, when you click too fast and you're not sure what's working, that's where I'm at. And so everybody has those technical difficulties trying to figure out Google Hangout and what's working. Okay. Backwards. That's weird. Sharing it so fast made it go backwards. Or maybe reversed. That is weird. Okay. All right, so we've gone through the triangle of growing a strong team. Let's see if see if I can make this bigger and really, I forgot how to size it down. Trying to build trust and achieve results, you operate in a way that your fear is going to come out whether you knew you had it there or not. And so these are just some things that come out when you're trying to achieve those results. Are you being able to manage your own feelings and behavior effectively? You know, I always thought feelings comes as a result, and your behavior results from your feelings. So this is kind of a reaction to that. Are you able to see what's on your heart, or something stopping you, what's really in the way? Practice active listening and listening to what other people's needs, what their struggles are. And that's kind of challenging when you're kind of not in the place, but people need to actively be telling what they're doing. What exactly are they doing? That's why accountability partner is really important. So when you work towards, so much competition and think of the competition, but there's competition on who's joining who, and so a lot of people think that I win, you lose. And when you see some of the leaders, I don't think any of them are in that mentality that they want to gain everybody. I think they're all wanting us to work together, and you find the person that you can relate to join in your team. And so you can join the I statements. Do you feel frustrated, or areas where and or not. Just have one. I, you can see this, even if it looks bad. I think that's just about. Similar numbers.
Incorrect access. Please.
Okay. So we have a cameraman, Google Effects, screen share, YouTube. YouTube is where you can send to different videos after you watch this one. If you're on, can give some feedback and just say, I can hear you and I hear some crazy music in the background. I'm going to broadcast the call if you're not able to get on. So that's what the crazy music is in the background. But who loves? Huh. I wonder, how do you turn off the share screen? Okay, no, the cameraman. I don't want to screen share anymore. Okay. That is weird. Okay. Love figuring this out. If there's any Google Plus experts, love to have you on our next chat so we can figure this out. If anybody wants to practice, hey, call me out. Hello?
Hi.
Hey. Glad you're
Hi.
back.
Yeah, well, I got cut off. I got cut off by getting back on again. I couldn't. Are we still on?
Yeah, I haven't ended it yet. I can't figure out how to get my video to come back on. It's still on the screen
Yes.
share.
I see that. I see that. Oh, freezing. I went from a t-shirt to sweater and shirt.
Oh, goodness.
So you can't get your video to come back, huh?
How do you take it off the screen share? It's crazy.
I think we're actually off. No, on the air. We're on the air in YouTube.
Right.
Screen share. Why don't you hit the screen share and maybe that'll get you off.
Okay. Well, it doesn't say like a screen share of let's see. It's either the Google Hangouts. I mean, I have like a couple different tabs open, so I'm trying to close a lot of stuff out. Let's see.
Well, I don't think anybody's online really.
Oh, I know. But I have the call on in case, that needs to be broadcasted. If you want to record that.
Right. Go onto your set. Go into your settings. Maybe there. No, that wouldn't be it.
It's
Well,
funny.
it's all about doing. It's all about doing and learning it as you go along. And here we are.
That's right. I missed my last tip for you, Pat.
We missed the last tip, right?
Yeah, I had the one last tip I shared and you weren't there.
Oh, what was your tip?
The last part of the triangle, shoot, I closed it out. The very top was results. So you got to share your results.
Right.
And the number one thing of hearing others people's results is what gets people to take action. And because of the amazing results that Lawrence has had, from the top being he's top of the leads, top of the, top of everything, right?
Right.
Except for winning some of the contests, which, Mac wanted to make sure he controlled. But
right.
But when you hear some, the top people's results, that is what makes people have a solid team, a culture that they're creating. And we've got to share results, even though they seem like a little bit, I've had results of people getting all in or, different things. But it's the results that usually sometimes either takes action or that seems so far off that they're too scared to take action. Have you ever been in a place where, it doesn't seem like you say all the time, I can do it, you can too. But you see like people making crazy results going, can I really do that?
Right.
Okay, so they came on. I don't know if you can hear it. I might just leave it on because I've got to go get my daughter in the bath. And I cannot figure out that.
Oh, that's the 9 o'clock call. I think I'm going to go on to it through my other ways because I'm going to put my headphones on.
Okay, good.
All right, so listen, let's touch base tomorrow and let's really figure out this Google Hangout thing.
Sounds good, Pat. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you for the invite. I'm glad we did it.
Me too. Thanks, Pat.
Oh, and the great thing, as I said, is we don't have to be like gurus at it. We just do it, and like the next, what would be really good though is like for both of us to like just, even if we spend a half hour and just, learn how to do a Google Hangout.
Right.
I think that'll be awesome for us.
That's right.
Okay, great. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
I can't figure out how to get off.
Hello? 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 Well, let's get the meeting started. Hands all here. Gerald Howard here. Well, is there anybody out there?
out here? I'm here. I can't hear anything though.
The man from Virginia's here.
I'm here in Connecticut. I'm here from
Jim from Michigan.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is Aaron Rashkin. Welcome to the Empower Hour. We're getting some technical difficulties sorted out here, so just hang on for just a quick moment, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Kick back, open a peach Snapple, grab #1 earner, and he is approaching 6 figures in just the first 15 days of the month of October here. So hang on just a sec. Let me see if we can grab him. Hey, Lawrence, you out there, my friend? Lawrence Ham, did you make it to the line?
unmuted.
Going underway here in just another few seconds. Our feature speaker tonight is on the way thousands of callers.
Muted.
Okay, gang, looks like we're going to go and attempt to three-way Lawrence onto the line, so just give us another 30 to 60 seconds. Get yourself in a quiet place. Get full attention shut off. Texting, chatting, email, Facebook, anything that can distract you from what this gentleman has to say. He's the top earner here in the Power Network. I'm not going to say it. Can you hear me, Lawrence? Is that Lawrence Sam?
Sorry about that, man. I must have pushed too many buttons. How to get back out?
Well, either that or there's 10,000 people calling in to hear about the Empower Network, my friend. I'm sure it's the latter.
Okay. Do I need to hit record or anything?
You know, I don't know, but I haven't hit it, so if you want, we can three-way over to our recording system and make sure we get it. So
This conference is being recorded.
So
there we go. Got it. That.
Okay.
So my friend, I'll turn it over to you, Lawrence, and have a call, my friend.
Oh my goodness. All right, cool. I think I fixed that. Okay, my name is Lawrence Tam. It is 8:09, 8:10 Central Standard Time. We're generally doing this Monday. This is actually like the first call I've ever hosted for Power Network. So I had my help from my good man Aaron Rashkin, Aaron and Sophia Rashkin, people I've been been following secretly for years, and Justin Bridget actually helped me get in there. Thanks, Justin. Literally a couple minutes ago, I put down actually I didn't put it down. My awesome partner, my wife, Jessica, she actually put down my 4-month-old. We're giving them a bath and putting the 2 kids of 7 and 5. And I just want to tell you a quick story about, where we're at. David Wood had a fantastic flight tonight. I don't know if you saw it. The reason most of you here is because you saw it. But if you didn't see it, headline reads, news, Asian man makes $204,122 and tells his job to screw off. I just think that's hilarious. True story. I'm 34 years old. I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. I graduated in 2000, been doing engineering for about 12 years. I knew about 5 years ago I didn't want to keep doing engineering. Well, for one, I don't think I'm that smart, right? And when I say that smart, I come from a lineage of PhDs. My uncle has a PhD, works at a chemical plant. I think he's now since retired. My other uncle is an electrical engineer. works for the city of Houston. My dad has a master's. Two of my cousins have PhDs. One works at Dow, and the other one works at Apple. Not the Apple store, but a PhD at Apple, building Apple products, doing the programming. And I've come from a successful line. My sister is actually in dental school, and I'm just the lowly guy on the totem pole, middle child who couldn't go to get his master's because I thought, a master's degree in mechanical engineering was just too tough. I took one course in, I think it was compressible flow, and I wanted to. I basically said, I don't know if it's for me. Let's go get a job. I got a job, making $50,500 per year at Motorola Semiconductor in Austin. Some of you might know that as Freecell. Back in, 2000, before the Twin Towers went down, semiconductor was booming. Motorola had a semiconductor sector that basically was allowing people to come in and make money. Two Towers went down, economy tanked. They sold their division off. I was laid off 1 year later coming out of college. Fast forward, I've been laid off twice. And the second time being in April of 18th of this year. But the difference between being laid off the first time and the second time is huge. The first time I got laid off, I believe I was 22 years old, didn't have much money, got married as an unemployed engineer because there's no jobs. I was actually unemployed for 18 months, looking for a job. My wife took care of me. I was her high-paid chauffeur, basically walked the dog, picked her up, and took her to work. That was my job basically all day. And fast forward a couple years later, April 18th, 2012, my second line manager came into my office and said, hey, look, we need you to come in. My first instinct was, I think I've spent too much time on the internet. I was like, that was my only instinct. Like, I thought my manager wanted to bring me in because it was like 9 o'clock. It's kind of weird for a meeting, right? He's like, we need to talk. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, yeah, he's probably going to tell me you probably should try to lay off on the internet because you've been on your blog a lot and you've been on Facebook a lot because that's where I built my business. I built my business at work part-time, right? I got on the internet in 2007, struggle. Met David Wood, David Sharp, and we're talking, and the magic really started happening back in 2007 in July when we did the first Costa Rica Mastermind. And it was funny because at that time I was probably making, I was making pretty good money as an engineer, and on the side I was making maybe $3,000 to $8,000. I'm not that rich, never consistently over 10. And the one phrase that kept coming out was, I don't think it's possible to make $12,000 in a month. Like, you might get lucky, right? I think I've done $15,000 one time because I did a huge launch, and then the next month it was like $2,000. So if you averaged it out, it was like, 17,000 divided by 2, it was like $8,000 at most. So I've never made great money on the internet, ever. And we're talking about the limiting belief of what was possible at that time. David Sharp was like, you're about a $30,000 a month person, right? And I just chuckled. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. So we launched that Costa Rica Mastermind as the initial test bed. And true story, David Wood, David Sharp, and a couple other members. I told Wood, I'm like, hey man, this looks fantastic. What you're thinking about the actual brainchild of Empower looks awesome. But I'm not leaving my job. I just told him straight up, I'm not leaving my job, man. And so I'm like, if whatever you want to do, but I mean, your idea sounds fantastic. Great that we did a product together in Costa Rica, but I got 2 kids to feed and a wife. I just recently retired just from, a couple grand a month from internet marketing, but I'm like, I'm not retiring. David Sharp launched Empower Network. What's funny is I didn't even know Empower Network was launching. I missed the first initial secret meeting because I didn't even know it was happening, right? Someone pulled me aside and said, hey, do you know we're actually launching? We're actually doing something here. I'm like, what are you talking about? Watched it. I'm going, oh, man, this is the ticket. Like, this is the ticket. I mean, the 2 things that really drew me in was, number 1, David Wood selling for me, and David Sharp writing copy, and number 2 is automatic blog. I'm like, that's interesting, because I've been trying to build my business on a blog for years, and they're going to sell for me. That was kind of like, okay, let me push all my chips in, let me go all in, let me do everything I can to make this happen. But that doesn't mean I changed my, my family vacation timing. Come on, So we actually had a family trip already scheduled. So I actually launched my business of Empower Network in the hotel room at around 1 a.m. with a couple people. I'm like, hey, test my link. I don't know if it works. Test my link. I don't know if the payment went through. Because the thing is, at that point, I mean, everything was so brand new and things were broken. Like, we didn't officially launch for a while. And that's the benefit of joining today. Today, you come in, you have a merchant that works. A couple of months ago, we had a couple merchant issues because banks got scared. Like, you really can make that type of money? That's freaking hilarious, right? So I think today, dude would put some pressure on me, and I don't know if I did it. I can't tell, but I think he was telling me, hey, Lawrence, I think right now, as of the month of October, 15 days in, I think you're at $98,776.00 in 15 days. And I'm looking at that, I'm like, for real? Like, for real? And he's like, hey, man, if you can generate another $1,300, you will cross 6 figures in a month in half a month. When my initial belief level was, it's impossible for someone who's part-time to build it on the internet and make $12,000 legit, without doing some kind of crazy launches or combining all this other stuff. And it's life. I mean, I think a couple of days ago, we had a Google Hangout, and we're all hanging out with some leaders, and I think Dave said, hey, man, I think you made like 70 grand in a couple of days, in like 8 days. And like, I can just like, it's kind of cliche, but like those movies where you see things kind of flash before you. I saw all the hours of grinding, and I go, you know what, there's probably a better way. And it's this. See, Empower Network does so many things right, it's scary. And I truly believe a lot of people don't join Empower Network because they like it too good. Right? Because, I mean, let's think about it. Through life, if it seems too good, don't do it. There's no way. Of course it can't work. Why would you do that? You can get scammed, right? And so people always get into these ideas of a scam, but then there's ideas of a scheme. A scheme is just a well-played plan. And as an engineer, I like plans. I like schematics, right? I like to have plans. And the plan was, can we help a lot of people make money? And so this isn't like a traditional network marketing company where there's like 5 people make money. And here's the cool thing. The reason I made $98,776 plus whatever else that came up in the last 7 hours is because a lot of people in my teams and people I don't even see made a lot of money. Made a lot of money. And what you do, all you do is get 2 a day. Get 2 a day. I think I did my numbers. I think I'm averaging less than 2 a day. I think I'm averaging like 1.25 per day. That's it. So I want to touch on limiting beliefs, and we've had some of these discussions on Facebook. A lot of people talk about the reason this, the reason that, X, Y, Z. Let's break through that. Let's understand what that really means. Number one, I get all the time, Lawrence, the reason you make so much money is because you're on the sales page. I'm like, do you know when we started, I wasn't on the sales page and I was still number one? Did you know that? Number two, they're like, hey, Lawrence, the reason you're number one is because you have a big list. You know, I only had 8,000 people in internet marketing language. That's like so much junk list. Okay, 8,000 is nothing, right? I have been able, due to Empower Network's awesome marketing system and capture page, I don't know, about 24,000. So I've actually tripled it in less than a year, part-time. So people go, well, Lawrence, now you're full-time. Of course you're going to crush. I'm like, no, that's not true, actually. My plan to go on the internet and make money was never to be rich. My plan was to leave a job, retire my wife, and just live great. What is living great? $12,000 a month. I just figured if I make $12,000 a month, it will cover all her bills, plus be able to pay for college and take care of her in-laws, and save her for retirement. $12,000 a month. Not $98,776 in 2 weeks. So, in the disclaimer, I don't know what you're capable of. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what you're going to do. All I know is those are true facts, true numbers. I've been able to do that. I did it part-time. That's why I've been doing Empower Network from November to April until I got laid off. And then from April to July, I was building another company because I thought Empower Network wasn't going to be around due to merchant issues. Merchant issues got fixed. In July, I had a baby. guess what happens when you have a baby? You stop doing stuff. Okay, let's just be real. This is my third child, my last one. Physically, scientifically, last one, I wanted to spend time with my third child. And I'm like, well, you know, it was a nice run. And then I thought, you know what? There's some stuff in the 15K about solo ads. Let me really look at that. Looking at solo ads, that one piece, that one training intrigued me because I've never actually ever done a solo ad prior to Empower Network. And I'm like, hey, that sounds kind of interesting. I can use my money and use someone else's time and leverage to build my list and make money in Empower Network. So what I did was I actually, from July, when I was the birth of my baby, until now, a couple months later, all I did was just use paid traffic. That's just one thing we teach inside of Empower Network. And I used it because I understood it. I want to be part-time for the rest of my life, right? I want to be able to wake up, take my kids to school, go to the batting cages. Last week, hey, what do you want to do? Oh, no, let's go race some go-karts. Week before that, hey, what's that cool restaurant? Hey, let's go drive across town. Let's go eat at that place. And so now, instead of being able to eat with my wife maybe once a quarter or maybe twice a year when I was an engineer, because I actually worked 50 minutes away. See, when I woke up at 5:30, I left the house at 5:50, got to work at 6:45. That was my day for 5 to 6 years. Actually, my 6 years when I got laid off. 6 years as an engineer working that. And so now I'm looking at this, I'm like, is this possible? Is it possible for people in my team to make more than $12,000? Well, guess what? It has to happen. The only way for me to make this type of money is if my team is making money. How do you make money? How do you generate funds, drive traffic, educate them, give them value, build a list. So there's been a lot of talk about, hey, look, I don't think it's possible that anyone can make more than $30,000 a month in Empower. We proved it. I think we had, I don't have the exact numbers, but I think it was like 14 people who did more than $30,000 or something like that. Now we have on page, I think David was talking about, don't call me like, you know, I'm not a fortune teller, but he believes there's going to be multiple people this month who will cross 6 figures in Empower Network this month. And I remember we're at Costa Rica Masters, we were talking to Tracy Walker and Chuck Marshall. We were like, hey, look, if we break 6 figures, we should go do something. Like, there should be a drive because, you know what, it's not easy to break 6 figures. Let's physically, just, you know, judgment pass, let's do something. And they're like, what do you want to do? Like, let's go to Bora Bora. If, you know, we hold ourselves accountable. And so this is what workout partners are. So in Empower Network, we stress workout partners. Workout partners is just like what it is. If someone were to jog every day by themselves, it's them to motivate themselves, and then if they quit, they quit. No big deal. It's just themselves quitting. But if you have someone call you at 5:30 in the morning, hey, dude, you need to wake up and go put your running shoes on. We're going running. Or if you have a workout partner, hey, look, man, look, I know you want to work out. You're sore, but we're going to hit the bench today. You're my workout partner. It's called an accountability partner in a way. Well, I'm like, well, accountability partners, you need to be working with people at similar levels or higher, and Chuck Marshall and Tracy Walker are just super duper awesome people who've been in the industry for such a long time, and they know what they're doing. I'm like, well, shoot, if they think they can do it, I think I should be able to do it, right? And so that was my limiting belief. I didn't think I was a 6-figure per month earner. David Wood told me you made $98,776 in 15 days. So I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, that's just straight up ridiculous, crazy. I don't even know what. I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And if I look at my numbers, I believe there's a lot of people who say, well, the only way you can make money is going all in. I'm like, well, yeah, you go all in, you make a lot of money. Because I teach my team, you go all in because you want to learn. Yeah, that's cool. You can retail product. That's a fantastic benefit of it, right? Because most times you have to pay like a white label. You have to pay for resale rights of a product to get 100% cut. And Empower Network doesn't do that. They'll give you 100% cut. That's so unique to the industry to be able to get paid on something you didn't even create, but you leverage David Wood because he's like, he wants you to make money, right? And I'm like, you want me to make money? Well, let me try to make some money. So there's a lot of people right now who go, look, you can only make money by trying to be at the basic level, makes money there, then reinvest your benefit or your income and its profits. And I'm going to say that's the incorrect way to build a business, right? That's like going to building a traditional sandwich shop or a fast food joint. So look, I'm going to build this fast food joint, but I'm going to have 2 light bulbs, 1 employee, 1 register, and maybe 1 microwave and 1 cook. That's it. Because you're trying to limp into your business in hopes that it works, and if it does, then you hire some more help, then you buy some more hardware. Tell me a franchise that does that, and a franchise that you can start for less than $5,000, $1,600, $500, $25. Doesn't happen. Everyone comes in because you want to learn how to make money. So to set the story straight, income disclosure, hey, I don't know what you've been able to do with your basic memberships, but I've sold and made a total of, to date, $82,775 just on the basic membership. Just on the basic membership. That's it. That's it. Now let's think about that. You can make 82 grand in less than a year on a product that pays you $25. What do you think you'll make if you buy all the products and show people, if you want to make some money, this is what you got to do. Buy the products, learn how to build this, drive traffic, and get your mind right. I've talked to so many people who truly believe the only way to make money is to see proof first, to build their belief. They want to see results first to build their belief. And to me, that's kind of like saying, you got to tell me the world is round before I can believe it, before I can see it. Until then, the world is flat. And I'm like, you think the world is flat because to you, your belief level thinks it's flat. Until I can prove to you it's round, then you believe it's round. Then you have people say, hey, look, I think it's round. I think you should come with me. I think if you just keep going that way, it'll keep going. It'll keep going. And that's where I want you to be. I don't want you to be the person who passes up thousands of dollars, thousands of leads because you refused to invest in your education. And I say invest because, look, I invested in my engineering education. I invested in my education to raising a child. I invested in my education to learn how to drive. I invested in my education to being a good husband. You invest your time and your money. I want you to invest your time and your money to learning the craft to being able to make some money by helping people learn info products. I want you to be able to understand that the average person has never generated a lead before, ever. And we're going to show you the ways we do it. Like before, I was averaging maybe 10 to 15 leads in a day. Sometimes now I have 1,000 leads in a day. Why? Because I learned through the products. Through the products. And so, if you were to take a 20,000-foot view of where Empower Network is, I want you to kind of digest this. This might be a little bit over some people's heads, but let's just digest this. You had a place in Empower Network. Well, there's only about 50,000 affiliates. Let's think about this. A small town in Texas, I think a small town is like 70,000. It's a small town. That has nothing to do with the millions in Houston, millions in Texas. How many people in Canada, Australia, UK, Europe? None of those. We're talking only 50,000 strong who are blogging daily and marketing to bring in 2 members to educate them on the process of Empower Network. And so we have 2 basically homeless people who go, look, if you want to make money on the internet from the comfort of your home, this is what you got to do. Join Empower Network, buy all the products, learn from them, focus on just 2 people a day at the basic level. That's it. That's it. You follow that process, the 2 people a day will get you to where you want to go. And I know it's pretty far out, but I'm so amped about Austin. Why? Because I'm about 3 hours away from Houston. That's where I graduated. I graduated from Austin. I can't wait to have my parents, and I really hope my brother, my brother's 4 years older than myself. He graduated with a MIS, and he's what you consider a traditional. I don't think any of that stuff works. And I would love my parents who've never really seen what I've done, and my brother and my sister who's in dental school, my brother who's working, and my sister-in-law, and actually my wife. My wife doesn't really get, like, why do so many people, a couple months ago, she was like, why do you have so many friends on Facebook? You know what I mean? And this is stuff we teach, we teach this. And I would love for them to see how many happy people we have in Empower Network. I believe in Empower Network because, they will let you do whatever the heck you want. I'm a devout Christian. It's for anybody. David was like, he'll cuss on stage, that's just not my style. But to me, that's like, he's not going to tell you exactly what you can and can't. He's just, do what you want to do. Do what feels good and helps people, right? And to me, that just proves that this company is just freaking awesome. Two owners who get it, who are actually affiliates of the same system. The same system that myself and many others promote, the same system that they promote, and they made, I think it was like 400,000 in 3 months before San Diego. Now it's probably like $1.5 million or something like that. I don't even know what it is. And so I want to thank David Lynn for everything he's done, David Sharp for everything they've done. They worked countless hours being able to provide a system that people can plug into, not worrying about trying to like change the color of a border, what plugin to use, is this theme SEO compliant? They don't want you to spend time doing what a $6 an hour tech support agent can be doing for you. You can just outsource that. But they built it all on a nice package for you to jump in, start blogging, talk about crazy stuff, bring people in by educating them. An example would be, I had a blog post that I put up that was talking about walk-in shower design. Why? Because you blog about lifestyle, right? My lifestyle would be, it's 10 o'clock, my wife's like, what do you want to do today? I'm like, let's go look at some houses. So we looked at these custom houses with like gym type showers where like you could walk through them, like car washes, have multiple shower heads. And I'm thinking, I think this is pretty cool. Let me blog about it. And so in terms of blogging, you want to blog about everything. Why your PTA at your school, your Parent Teachers Association, needs more funding. Why counting money at a PTA function by cash is such a hard job. Why certain toys like the plasma car is just an awesome tool for kids to be able to run around without having to, have a motor or anything. You can move around in a plasma car. Go Google it. What if you were to actually rank for the plasma car? But let me show you what a plasma car can do, and you put it on your Empower blog. See, we jump thousands of hours of the average person trying to figure out, should I use WordPress or WordPress.com or WordPress.org or Blogger.com, or should I self-host it, or should I go to a domain and buy that and mass forward it? Should I do a dedicated host, or should I do a self-host? Or should I spend more to spend on privacy? There's all these little things that get people stuck in the details when what they should be doing is marketing. Focus your time on marketing because that's where you'll make all of your money. Everything else will fall in place. You can hire things out. You can fix things that you go by. But due to Empower Network having a two-pronged system of a blog that's in a high authority site that allows you to blog based on a WordPress backbone and a marketing system that is going to get you leads. Put those two together, you have something that we want to call I don't want to say it, but it's bad to the bone system that allows the average person to win. Average person to win. And so, if you're on this call right now thinking, who the heck is Lawrence Tam? That's right, exactly. I'm just a normal guy who has 3 kids, love my in-laws, love my wife, love my parents, and I just want to sit at home watching, crazy movies like Maid Redemption and The League, You know, I mean, I just want to watch TV and hang out with my wife, you know, watching The Walking Dead with my wife looking behind a pillow, you know, stuff like that. But you can't do that until you put the work in, you see. And I'm going to prove to you for a fact you can do it part-time, because I still do it part-time. You don't have to spend in 40 hours. You don't have to be a grinder. But what I want you to do is I want you to invest the time necessary to learn. And if you can invest your time to learn, one of the cool things my dad told me, look, as a kid, I don't know if you had dads like this. My dad wanted to teach me by doing versus telling, right? And so he's like, I can tell you all these things, and you might remember, you might not. But I figure if I put you through it, you'll remember it. And guess what? He was darn right. Number one, he made me go multiple times during the summer to go paint houses. Guess what? I hate painting. My wife's like, dude, let's just go paint the nursery. You know, I'm like, I hate painting. She's like, let's just go repaint the nursery because now the baby's older. Let's paint for the daughter's room. I'm like, but we just painted it. We painted it. She's like, well, I don't understand why you don't like painting. Well, you understand, when I was a kid in middle school, I had to paint because my dad was like, hey, look, I'm going to give you a summer job. I'm going to pay you like $4 or $5 an hour. I want you to paint this house, paint the exterior, and don't make a mess. I hated painting. Why he did that? Well, number one, he's Asian. He's trying to save money and hiring me versus someone else. That's number one. But I could use the money, right? I'm a kid. I mean, no one's going to hire a middle school kid. But the main reason was like, son, look, check this out. If I show you that it's much easier to use your mind to make money versus your hands, would you? I'm like, you know what? After painting all these houses, I'm going to tell you right now, I hate painting. And if I can pay some money to paint, I'm going to do it. Unless my wife tells me. If my wife tells me I can't do it, I'll just paint with her. I mean, she likes it because it's therapeutic for her. But think about that story. See, my dad got me on these trips to follow this handyman to go fix toilets. And I'm like, why am I fixing these toilets? I don't get it. Well, guess what? Now I can fix toilets. Like, if I want to fix a toilet, I can fix a toilet. And so the learning process was deeper than just using your hands. It was the fact that no matter what happens, no matter if Motorola lays you off, no matter if Baker Hughes lays you off, no matter who takes your job away, they're never going to take away what's in your mind. And this is why I'm Cantonese, 100%. There's not many of us in the States. I back to my wife about it. There's not many Cantonese. There's a bunch of Mandarin. I don't know if you get that, but Cantonese people generally come from Hong Kong, and you know we speak a totally different dialect, and we're obnoxiously loud. My wife thinks my mom and my dad always scream at each other. It was like, no, that's just like that's how Cantonese people talk. You know, they don't need microphones. And so they wanted to show me the true asset is your mind. See, you can have a job, you can have money, you can have a house. People can take that away. But this is why we always, in our family, stress on education. Now, the college education system, I'm not going to talk about too much about it. It might be bad. It might be not good for you or your kids. I'm going to send them there because I want them to do what? I want my kids to have the ability to learn how to learn. That's why I want them to go. Now, before Empower Network, I wanted them to have a degree where they can make money. Engineering, business, accounting. My wife's an accountant. And also, at least when you come out, you can make money. But now, knowing that I can make money on the internet, and by the time my kids leave high school, they're going to have their own side streams of income. That's my goal. So then they can go to college just to be able to learn. See, I truly believe your business is best built like a classroom. If in UT, University of Texas, when you went through your freshman classes, the average class size is anywhere from 300 to 500 people. It's probably bigger now. So like Chemistry 301, about 4 to 500 people. You're just a number in the crowd, okay? As you get weeded out, you get to your core classes, you're about 30, maybe 30 people in the room, and then they know you by first name. It's much smaller, right? In every one of those classes, you just stand up and interrupt the teacher and go, repeat that. If he's cool, he will. But if he's like, no questions until the end of the classroom, what do? You don't ask him questions at the end of the classroom. He is there to teach a curriculum, to teach you so you can be successful at the test, which eventually, if that's your major, you can take that core principle and apply it to things outside of chemistry, physics. Engineers do it all the time, right? They want to give you a foundation. but the core learning process is the same. No one goes to college and learns one-on-one from your instructor. Think about this. But most people come on the internet wanting one-on-one training for $25. Really? Remember, you bought the system, which has a blog, with the marketing system. Both of them combined are worth way more than $25. That's what you bought. Okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, you should not be training your people. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that is a grinder. You're actually hurting your team if you train your teams one-on-one. That's not leverage. If you're part-time, you only have 2 hours a day, and you spend an hour training a person for $25 a month because they don't know what a blog is, you should send them to tools like Empower Network, let them learn what a blog is, and let them learn on their own pace, like a classroom. Think about it. If you build your business like a classroom, people will respect you like a professor. That's the way it's supposed to be done, right? People buy products to learn from you too. They can. But that doesn't mean they own your time. Your time is one of the very few assets on planet Earth that you cannot replace. You can get more money if you wanted, but you can't get more time. So I want you to protect your time. What is one way to protect your time? Outsource. I teach this in Costa Rica Intensive, lesson number 6. I show you how I was able to build over 30 websites, outsourcing all that, and not messing with article writing, right? I want you to really dive into what Empower Network has to show for you. Look, I want to bring out some other leaders coming out. If Aaron can come up, I want to show Aaron's a guy, besides the fact that I love the fact that he looks like He-Man, okay? But I love Aaron because of the fact that he's just a cool dude. He's been in the industry so much longer than myself, and I can learn from people I want to model. And so one of the cool things I did was at the Costa Rica Masters was we jumped off the boat in Kettlerans, and we're just kind of floating around in the water. I was able to actually share a good 10 minutes with Aaron. And I think in that 10 minutes we were circling with our noodles as he touched Aaron. Mr. Aaron Rashkin, I've been able to kind of take some of your secret sauce and build my business because, you know, he's learned so much and he understands education, he understands team building, he understands being able to use tools like Empower Network to drive a business, build a list, and to be able to reinvest all of your profits. I reinvest 100% of my profits. I know David would talk about doing 20%. I do 100%. If you're part-time, you actually have an advantage because if you're part-time, you have funding, so you don't have to use Empower Network as your funding. You don't have to take money out to go eat. I spend 100% minimum in all my birthdays and my Christmas presents. I have my wife, hey, can I have this $400 product? Hey, can I go to the event? That's how I build my business. But that was a little off track. Let's go back to touching Aaron Rashkin. I touched Aaron Rashkin a couple of times, I think, in the water. I don't think he noticed it because we were distracting himself. Because we're just such a warm, natural beauty and where we were kind of just floating around and we were just talking. And being able to go to events like that, being able to have, that's the places you can get to kind of speak to someone who you model. And I model Aaron's, and he bought his neighbor's house. Okay, I'm not even going to do this story too much. But I want to say thank you for everyone who's been through an Empower Network and building their business. Dreams do come true. I think David a couple of days ago goes, I wouldn't be shocked if you break 200,000, and I go, holy moly. Aaron, my man, you on the phone right now?
Yeah, I'm actually in the house that this industry bought for me.
That is such an awesome story, man.
Yeah, we're actually sitting around the Office House conference table with Justin and Dee Varengia and Diane Zivik, Sophia, and Chris Rushlow, and we're just sitting here listening to you tear up this call, telling everybody about how to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time with the fewest amount of headaches, and there's nothing else that points to anything but a power network. And, yeah, by the way, I touched you too in that one.
I'm going to pass it over to you. I want to learn from that.
Me, maybe we'll do 97,000 days.
I'm looking to learn.
I'm really excited that we're hosting the call tonight. I know that literally thousands of people couldn't even get in tonight. When we dialed, they're having trouble getting in. All 6 of us around the conference table here in my office. And I know you had trouble getting in as well, which just means that, you know, we're in the right place at the right time. And certainly, most importantly, I know Dave are on a flight right now out to Singapore, and they're going out there to build the Empower Network brand, you know, internationally with the top earners in all of Southeast Asia right now. And really, this is just the tip of the iceberg, because what's going to happen over the next 30, 60, and 90 days, I was just telling some of the people earlier that we're sitting around their conference table with, there's never been a better time to join Empower Network, because we had so many glitches early on in, you know, the Empower Network's history that, you know, we've gotten those things ironed out. You know, we've gotten past the merchant account issue. We've gotten past, you know, the banks, you know, not understanding our business model. We got past all the startup challenges of two guys with a pretty grandiose idea to help more people make more money than anything that they've ever done before in their lives. And in the wake of that, you know, not only has Empower Network grown to almost 70,000 members in over 100 plus countries and paid out, you know, nearly $20 million in 100% commissions, but it's now a wrecking force in this industry. You know, people only knew the corporate strength of the Empower Network. I think that, you know, the way Dave and Dave brought up the 6, you know, top corporate officers in Tampa Bay at the event a few weekends ago, you know, where over 3,000 people gathered to, you know, really get a feel for what this company offers and how they can plug in and tap into the strength of this momentum. There's never been anything like this. There was a couple of companies back in the year 2000, right around Y2K, for those of you that remember those minutes right before the ball dropped on the United States back in the year 2000. You know, people were, you know, packing groceries and jugs of water just in case, you know, the whole world disintegrated into a little Stargate in midair. And you know what happened at midnight on the year 2000, Y2K? We all got 1 year older, and nothing significant really happened, except for the fact that, you know, there were a couple of startup companies that had, you know, pretty quick runs, maybe 30, 60, 90 days, where people were making astronomical income, but they were flash in the pan. They had no real financial backing. They didn't have people that were making the right decisions. They were good marketers, but that's not what, you know, we as distributors and members want. It's just a good marketing system. We want a company. We want leadership. We want vision. We want integrity. We want the things, you know, that make a tremendous opportunity, not just for us, but the thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people who are going to come, you know, before or after us. And, you know, as time continues and the Empower Network continues to grow and strengthen and pick up more speed and momentum, and more people, you know, making not just their first dollar online, but their first $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, and you know, we can just keep adding zeros here. And, you know, that's exactly where we're headed, you know, as a company, as a community, as members of the Empower Network. And, you know, what's so exciting about it is that a brand new person doesn't have to come in knowing a lot of marketing information. Everything that we need to know is inside the product line, from the basic membership all the way through to the Masters Retreat. Everything that we need to know as marketers, from advertising, marketing, you know, free and low cost, paid, top to bottom, front to back, everything is available here for members. All they have to do is just focus on a few small things, first of which is believing that they can win, that they can be successful, that they can actually take back total control of their finances, their freedom in their life, if they just do the things that successful people are doing without telling themselves or telling other people a story. Hey, listen, if you're brand new, I got a message for you. In the beginning, nobody cares about your story, about why you couldn't, shouldn't, or wouldn't succeed. What we care about is your success. What we care about is your numbers. So in the beginning, we don't care about your story as much as we care about your numbers, because numbers are what's going to set you free. Once you have a story, then we'll ask you for your numbers. How many leads you generated? How much traffic you got? What was your conversion rate? How many people bought the basic membership from you? How many upgraded to the inner circle? How many people got on board at the Costa Rica and the 15K and the Masters Retreat level? These are the things that are important. If you want to get the attention of your leaders, of your mentors, of your sponsors, of the people who are here to support and assist you, put some numbers up on the board, plug in, pay attention, do the work, do the 8 core commitments every single day. That includes advertising and marketing. That includes blogging. That includes reading great books, not just Harlequin novels, but actual success-minded, financially driven books. Books that can put you in a whole new place in your mindset and your skill set. So the key here, Lawrence, and I know you do it better than anyone, or else you wouldn't be hosting this call tonight, being the top earner in the company, is people have to do the things that successful people do to have the things that successful people get. And you got to literally do today what most others are not willing to do, because successful people do things that others find boring and very uncomfortable, but that's what leads to a lifetime of excitement and comfort, meaning that you pay the price, what you give up in the beginning in time, in capital, and sweat equity, where we're actually doing the work and really putting in some hours into our business. What you give up in the beginning, you make back in the end 10, 100, 1,000 times over. So, Lawrence, I know that you have just absolutely torn this up. You have just done the same boring, uncomfortable things that most people won't do, and you've just repeated it over time for the last 11 months. And I know that all of us sitting around this conference table would probably want to congratulate you too and smack your butt just like we all did in San Diego. And I just can't tell you how much we appreciate you, being just such an amazing example of success, which is really all we ever owe anybody in business, not just our leads or our prospects, but our team, our teammates, the people that we work with and work around, right? We just want to be an example of success, and you are a shining star, my friend. So I just thought I'd take a breath there and pass back over to you. And feel free to call on anybody around the table. We have Chris Rushlow, Justin Varengia, Sophia D. Anybody you want to bring on the call, Lawrence. The call.
Yeah, let's get Chris Rushlow, man. I think I touched him a couple times in Costa Rica, and I think we were ziplining or something, and we had some ideas about SEO, and it was cool because we were in the back, I think, of a station wagon, and David Wood was like, "What are you guys talking about? Why are you guys giggling?" And they go, "Because we're talking about SEO and on-page stuff." So we're actually talking about marketing things, and I was just trying to bounce some ideas off, because it's very hard to actually talk to someone who actually does enjoy marketing. Because once you enjoy it, it's not like, if you go with someone, I think the saying goes, if you wake up and go run, you can go run, but if you think of yourself as a runner, you're just going to go run. And I think of myself as a marketer. I don't go market. It's like, well, I am a marketer because I've invested so much time and money, and I've changed my mindset to thinking that I'm actually an engineer. I'm just a marketer who does engineering. So I want to bring up Chris Rushlow. Chris, are you there, man?
I am here, brother.
Chris, man, I remember the first time we did our inner circle, and dude, I was so freaking nervous, but we were talking about, I think I was talking about selling vacuum cleaners or something, but that was just, my horizons were open to what the Power Network can do. You have something to share with us, man? I know you have so much to talk about, and just I wanted to pass it to you.
Well, man, I think the coolest thing is just to listen to your story tonight. It's just so inspiring, it's cool when you talk about marketers and how we kind of geek out on things, and it's not too often you get a chance to do that, where when we were down in Costa Rica and we were talking about all the different SEO tricks and talking about all the different marketing techniques we use, and we were cracking up, man. That's probably one of the best times, in my memories when I look back, that we can all, this is what Empower lets us do, is get to events and get around each other, people of like minds, where we really can get the juices flowing. And every event I've ever been to, I've always taken something really big away from it, and it's always helped me. I've always brought it to the next level afterwards, and that's because I was able to get around minds like yourself. Still to this day, LT, I'm telling you, we had conversations, and my head spins on some of the stuff you start talking about too. So don't think that you're the only one over there. You are a marketer in your own right that knows what you're doing, and that's why you deserve to be on this call, brother.
Man, I appreciate it, man. It's so cool because like sometimes you feel like you're in school and you feel like you're an outcast, and like you're the weird kid, and you just get to a point where like you're sick of being sick. I was sick of my boss telling me, "Hey, look, we have no money this year. You did an awesome job, but there's no raise, no money, so you get paid the same thing next year." I was sick of that, and then yet a good year they paid me 5% increase. I'm like, 5% increase after a year of busting my butt? I was sick of it. And being able to go to a place where you're accepted because you want to make more money for your family engineers don't think like that. Engineers are like, well, I'll make some more money for the company. But guess what? I'm the company of me. I want to make myself more money so I can help more people. They say you can help more if you have more. So if you want to give more, make more. You want to build some more water wells? Make more. You want to feed more children? Make more. If you think you feeding people by yourself on the weekend is helpful, it is. But what if you were to hire a high school, you were their sponsor, and you donate $5,000 a month to get their honors students to go feed people as a soup teacher? Why not? They do it all the time. They have honor students do all kinds of things. Because smart kids will do anything for a grade. I want to bring up Justin Varincia. Justin is an awesome dude. When I saw this guy talking about how much he was making, I'm like, oh, I want to be like that dude. I want to be like that dude. Except for the hair. I don't think my wife wants the big, wrestler hair. If I had wrestler hair, there might be some issues. But here's my man, Justin Varincia, basically turned it on in 30 days. I think it went from 7,000 to 26,000 in 30 days. Some ridiculous, off the wall, turned it on. Justin, my man, you here?
I'm here, brother. Just want to say we all appreciate you, Lawrence. You're just a great example, as Aaron says, at success, and just a great person to follow. And I know I've learned so much from you from the master's course and a lot of the products as well, the inner circle. So I just want to say I appreciate you. Yeah, man, Empower Network has just been life-changing around the boards, just for so many people, for teammates that I have myself. And, you know, my wife, just what we've experienced here. We've never experienced any other company. We've been in the industry for 5 years in network marketing, and we were the grinders that, you know, I worked 18, 20 hours a day in front of the computer, and, you know, it upsets the wife, and, you know, I have no time to have sex anymore because I'm doing three-way calls with my grandma, with people's grandmas and walking them through getting started, basically just wasting my time. And this is just being real. So what I learned through Empower Network is how to systematize things so I can actually live a life, have sex with my wife, and if I want to do 3 ways, they're the good 3 ways, not the bad 3 ways, if you know what I mean. That's just a joke, but I thought that was pretty funny, so I had to throw that in there. Yeah, my life changed drastically. My income inside Empower Network, it jumped from 7,000 to 26,000 in 30 days. And the number one factor, there's a bunch of little variables I could all attribute to the success, but the biggest thing was attending the event and stepping out of my comfort zone. Originally, I wasn't going to go to the event. I was leaning out in my mind thinking, while everyone's learning at the event, I'll be in the trenches marketing, doing my 20-hour deal, so by the time the event's over, I'm ahead of all the leaders. I was thinking with that lack of just to get honest, and then I heard one of these motivational Empower Hours. I think it was Tony Brush, and he just touched me to really step out of my comfort zone and actually do something I normally wouldn't do, which is go to an event. And I went to that event, and it drastically changed my life in so many ways. I went from doing three-way calls and prospecting on the phone all day to stop. I stopped actually picking up the phone. I don't even return phone calls from prospects anymore. I just blog. I just do exactly what they teach us in Fast Start training whenever a new member joins. And if you're listening on the lines right now and you're not already in, just get back with the person who sent you the email invite. Get started. Don't look back. Plug into the Fast Start training. It's right when you log into your back office. Click on Fast Start, and you're going to learn the 8 core commitments, which are exactly what I personally followed to have my breakthrough. I just listened to exactly what Dave and Dave shared with us. I tapped into the products, and I went all in. That is something that is extremely important, because if you want to have success in any area of your life, you got to be all in. And your life reflects what you're all in life for. If you're, maybe overweight or you don't have the health that you desired in your life, it's probably because you weren't all in, like on your diet or eating healthy or just paying attention to what you put into your body. The business is the same thing. Your bank account's going to reflect your from your spiritual to your physical to just putting everything on the line to making it work. We call it putting your skin in the game, because we know if you commit and you just believe in yourself and you walk in faith that you can be a another success story like Lawrence Tan. And what I believe is we never even scratched the surface. I don't believe that any leader here scratched the surface in Empower Network. I believe there's people on the lines right now. There's going to be people coming in the next few months that are going to blow some of the incomes away that we see now, because what we have available now wasn't available when we got, when we first started, Lawrence, right? I think when we first started, we didn't have the products we have in place now. We didn't have products that could teach us how to go from zero to, $250,000 or $500,000 a month, and we have all that in place now. We have a solid infrastructure, and it's never been this easy to actually generate income online, so I'm stoked, brother.
Yeah, man, that is, all I remember you talking about three-ways, I'm like, dang, that's powerful. Oh my goodness! And Dee, let's get a woman's perspective. And so, like, look, I love my wife. My wife is an awesome partner. She does so much for me. But I don't think she truly understands how many people we've changed. And basically, the more she kind of grew into grasping what Empower Network was and allowing me to just go as hard as I can, because before it was like, you're a baby, we ain't doing jack. You ain't going out of the house. You ain't flying nowhere. It was a struggle to get to flying out to San Diego, and I had to convince her that this is for the business, we can do it. She's like, okay, cool. So it wasn't like it wasn't like she was against me, but she wasn't like all in. And it's not her fault because she hasn't been through any of the training. She doesn't really know what I do. Like if she had to explain it, she might say I'm wrong. That's all right, right? But having a spouse to support your man or your woman, that is so powerful. And Dee, can you talk about that?
Hey, Lauren.
Hello.
Thank you for inviting me out on the call. When you talk about supporting your spouse, it's not just supporting them in the business. And I really want to make this clear to everyone out on the line, because we're not just talking about, supporting them when they make a check so you can get, new shoes or a new wig or, buy a new house or go to a new country. These things excite us, well, me. But, it's really about what it's able to provide you inwardly. It's about what you're able to experience from before to after. I'll just give you a little example of what I'm talking about. The other day, Justin and I, we've been here in Colorado hanging out with the Rashkins and Chris Rushlow and Diane, and it's just been a blessed, marvelous time. Colorado is amazing. I've never had the opportunity to come to Colorado. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, so one would ask, well, why wouldn't she have the opportunity to just get in a plane and go? Well, I didn't have the money to do that. I didn't have the resources to get on a plane, let alone pay for the plane ticket, pay for a hotel, pay for food. I mean, yeah, I'd get there if I walked, so to be able to be in a business to where my husband can look over at me and say, we're going to Colorado to go see Rashkins, I don't have to tell you tears came out my eyes, because you're talking to someone who was not able to do that before. So when you're looking at the business and we talk about support, it doesn't really matter about the business. It doesn't really matter what the check says. It's about standing behind your commitment. We all make commitments in life. We make commitments to ourselves. We make commitments to our spouses, to our partners, to our lovers, to our children, to our jobs, to our employers, and we give and we give and we give. And then most of us, we come home and we sit and we have this tiny amount of space of reflection. And most of us don't even have the opportunity to reflect during this time, because why? Laundry needs to be done, kids need to be fed, work still needs to be done. A lot of us take our work home when we were working, that JOB. So when you're talking about supporting your spouse, or supporting your partner, your lover, you're talking about standing behind your decision. You have to remember you stood next to that person, you stood beside them, and you said, I will love you through thick and thin. You said that I will stand by you regardless. So now it's time for you to put your money where your mouth is, like actually do what you said you would do when you committed to that person. It's not about just committing to the business. Who cares? Does it matter? If there was no Empower Network, it didn't matter if the person made $10 million. It didn't matter if they made $0. It's about standing behind your commitment. If they were good enough for you to walk down the aisle, if they were good enough for you to stand in front of them and say, I love you, for you to commit to that relationship, why can't they be good enough for you to support them in their decision to have a business or to be successful, to provide more for the family? So when I come to you and I say support, your spouse, it's not just supporting them in the business, it's standing behind the decision that you made originally. Stick to it. You made a decision, stick to it.
That is making commitments, making a promise. I made a vow to take care of my wife, sick, healthy, whatever. I'm going to take care of the family. I am the breadwinner. Not to get too deep into it, but in the Bible it says, hey man, I bear that burden. And I go all out knowing, hey look, I'm here to do what I need to do to make sure this family's protected. I just didn't know it would be to that amount. I mean, just legitimately, I was looking for $12,000 a month. And once you get to a certain point, your vision changes, right? Once I broke through to like 30, 40, 50,000, my wife's like, hey, we're good. You should scale back and not work so hard and just, hang out with us. And then I thought about, do you know how many more people we can help? And that's what it turned to, right? I actually have the ability to help more people with less time if I just focused a little more. And so it was no longer about what can I do now. It's like, I want to be able to take care of her parents. I want to be able to buy them a house outside of the ghetto. When I say ghetto, there's spray paint on the actual fence outside of their house. Not exactly right out, but like in their neighborhood. When you walk outside and you don't feel safe, that's not a good neighborhood. And so one of my goals was to give my parents, actually my in-laws, my house. So when I moved the in-laws to my 2-story house that I paid off a couple years ago due to this awesome career we call internet marketing. And so I truly believe if you have a promise, promises don't end in 6 months, 6 weeks, not even 6 years. See, most people come in, you know what, the water's kind of warm, but I'm not going to jump in, because I don't really know how deep it is in there. I don't really know if I can swim. But if we told you the water is 2 feet deep, this is a kiddie pool, and you won't drown in it because you're 5'6", do you believe what I'm telling you? And when you believe, you take more action. Think about this. If you didn't believe, why would you take action? If you did not believe that car won't stop at that stoplight, would you go? If you don't believe people will stay in their lanes, would you drive next to other cars? If you don't believe that the person preparing your food isn't going to sabotage it somehow, would you eat the food? It's belief. It's a belief and trust that something has boundaries. There is some type of law governing it. You will be safe. Take action. Eat your salad. Drive in your lane. Yes, that guy's going to stop at that stop sign. You can go. And when your belief says go, you take action. And when you take massive action, guess what happens? You get momentum. That's where so many people miss it. Why? Because sometimes you have belief. You take a little bit of action, teeny tiny bit of results. Teeny tiny bit of results. What I want you to really understand is, if you have that belief and you know what action to take because you bought the 15 day, because you bought the master's course, because you bought the Coach Consensus, because you listen daily on Inner Circle, you know I blog about TSA jobs, Texas teachers on strike. I talk about vacuum cleaners. I talk about video games. I talk about TV sets. I talk about everything under the sun that people are looking for because I blog. I'm actually a blogger. That's when you get it. Okay, it works. The belief level's there. Let me take action. So my action a couple years ago in my belief level was I wrote one article about a TV review. I made, I think, 50 cents that day, the next day. I'm like, wow, someone actually read my review and paid me 50 cents because my review was okay. It wasn't even great. I was misspelling. If you know me, I mistype everything. That's just how I am. I fact finger everything. But it's not about that. It's about the pure content. Go to review, made 50 cents. Today, that one article has made me probably about $200 about 5 years. But see, at that time, I didn't know what it was worth to me, that one article. Why? Because you continue to get paid for it. You get paid for it over and over and over again. At that time, all I saw was 50 cents. I could easily been like, 50 cents? I can't even play a video game now. Video games at the arcade cost $1. Back in the day, it was a quarter, but now it's $1. You would give me 50 cents. How would I ever play a video game? That's that type of limiting belief. But at that time, I go, it's 50 cents. And so maybe the frugal Asian in me was like, I just made 50 cents. You know what I mean? That wasn't engineering. That was made my action take place, and I took massive action. I wrote 30 product reviews within a month during my lunch hour. To date, those reviews still make me money. About old video games, VCR no one can buy, old progressive DVD players and TV sets that no one can buy because they're so out of date. But people still suck it for whatever reason, and I make a quarter, 50 cents a day. Ridiculous stuff. That was my idea. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm putting in articles on this website, and they're making money on what? Advertising. Empower Network comes around, they have a WordPress blog, and if you have to summarize it, I had to talk to a person like my dad, my aunt, and they go, what really do you do to make money on a blog? I go, think about this. CNN, Fox News, Huffington Post, Amazon, what do you think they do to make money? Most of them drive traffic to them, okay, through value. Now, current event type websites like CNN, Fox News, they write about things that are hot topics, scores, current events, things that are newsworthy because people come back to read it. Just like a television show. Where is the money in the television show? Why are they allowed to or able to spend so much money on actors? What? It's the advertising. See, people make money on blogs due to the advertising in most cases. But most cases, no, because most people don't do it properly. And so we want to teach you an Empower Network. Do you want to know if you wrote, let's say, a couple good articles that had a couple thousand people go to your website, and they see at the top that says how 2 homeless people were able to make X, Y amount of money, or on the right side that has a banner that talks about, hey, click here and we'll show you how you can exit your job. Whatever creative banner you had, you can customize it. If you had 1,000 people go to your blog and they saw those banners, don't you think there's going to be a percentage of people who will click those banners? That was the idea that I go, wait a minute, we can use a blog like every other website out there, get traffic, they will click stuff. As simple as it comes. Get a blog up, get traffic, people will click stuff. Once they click it, they go into your personal marketing funnel, which all it wants is an email. The email is put in there because they're like, what is this 100% commission? What are these 3 weird marketing tips? They go in, and then they watch the magic happen of what David Wood talks about, the gurus and how you make money and why gurus keep all the money. But we're going to flip that script and give you the money. And people go, huh? Me? You can then build a website. That's what a blog is. It's a website that you have full control over. Now, I want to stress full control. Full control being, if you go to Blogger.com, WordPress.com, or some other blogging system and you write something that they don't like, network marketing, they don't like. Guess what happens to your blog posts? Guess what happens to your site? They take it down. In Empower Network, we truly believe we want you to make some money. You can blog whatever you want to blog about. So this brings back to a story my buddy told me, but before we get to that, I blog about TSA jobs. I kind of like to focus on something I call avatar. If you know what avatar is, I learned this from my good man Dagan. An avatar is the ideal person you're trying to talk to, because if you talk to them, you're not talking to a crowd. A crowd is faceless. If you talk to one person, they have hair, they have sunglasses, they have glasses, they have an eyebrow, they're 5'6", right? That's one person. If you can write a blog post talking to one person, do you think there's other people like that person? So don't talk to the person who only has one arm, one leg, and has a mohawk, because there's probably not that many people like that. But talk to the person I like to talk to, who is a 40-year-old overweight American man who loves McDonald's, watches sports and watches TV, and is disgruntled after work. That's one person to write to. If you write an article that talks to that person, and you go, hey, look, wouldn't you love if you could have a way to not have to change your oil and someone came to your house and changed your oil for you? That person's like, yeah, man, because last weekend I had to change my oil. I got my hands dirty. I hated that. Who's doing a service like that? But you're not really trying to sell them the oil service. You're trying to sell them the fact that you can make them enough money to pay for that oil service. Think about that. Everything we do is about really the side effect of making money. If you made more money, your decisions would change. How? If you wrote an article about a Honda LX, that series, that Model V series, is not the highest. It's EX or EXL or whatever the V6 model is, or the hybrid of the Accord, Honda Accord, okay? But if you wrote an article about a 2012 Honda Accord LX Texas edition, and they go, yeah, that's the car I want to look at. You have pictures, you have videos, you talk about the hubcaps and how there's no rims, you talk about the fact that there's no leather, you talk about the fact that there's no power because it's a four-cylinder. And then they go, yeah. And you go, what if I showed you a way to pay for the upgrade to buy a V6? That person goes, wait a minute, you can show me how I can spend another couple of $1,000, and you'll show me how I can do that from home to buy a better car? What business do you speak of? Then they go in, click through the funnel, see that we're trying to help them make money from home. They go, wow, this is crazy. It's 100% commission. They make more money. Now they get to roll around in an Acura versus a Honda. I mean, that's me. I'm the guy who would rather drive a nicer car than a not-so-nice car. Hondas are cool, but if you can drive a Honda versus an Acura, most people would take an Acura unless you're doing some weird stuff like an S2000 or something. That's neither here nor there. But now, Justin talks about all this stuff on his blogs. He's an awesome blogger. But why don't you talk about crazy stuff? Talk about chupacabras. Talk about how, what happens when two dogs are stuck together in a ditch. What does that really mean? Talk about how to shave your hair properly in the mirror. Because I guarantee it, there's a person in this world right now typing in Google, how do you shave your head in the mirror? See, these are all topics about blogging. And we just want you really just to blog, right? I have multiple friends who are my wife's friends. I don't know if they're on the call. No offense to you. They are awesome writers, but make no money. Make no money. Why? Because they don't sell anything. The average person can't sell. We understand that. This is where Empower Network comes in. If they had a blog on Empower Network talking about Etsy, talking about making purses, talking about why kids shouldn't be spanked at school, and they wrote all this stuff, and other people are looking at it, and every time they go to the blog, they go, what is the deal with these two homeless people making money? What is it? Button goes to a marketing funnel, they put their email in, and then they're being marketed. See, deep down, that doesn't urge everyone. How much more money without actually being the guy who wants to make more money? Because some people, I'm going to tell you right now, some Christians think making money. And I'm going to tell you, how can you help your church? How can you help yourself? And how can you retire if you have no money? If you think money is evil, make it and then donate it. Build a water well. Make it, give it to your school. You can definitely do that. Or say, leveraging the ability. That is, my friend, magical. Magical. It's magical. don't want to see. But we're here at Power Network to really show you that this is a method to make money. SEO, you can do paid advertising, you can do solo, you can do so video. You want? Traffic. She is the Aaron LeBron. I actually was able to hug. No, that's just how I roll. I love the Guru Juice. I've been watching this couple of long time. He was a massive marketer, and he's just a cool person. I had someone in my group. The reason I'm number one is I'm Asian. I think you're Asian, so you can be number one too. That's Asian always number one. I want to pass it to Sophia. She is a long time. I love the fact that she's just cool with me and she accepts me who I do things properly sometimes, and just like a mom with slap my hand and let me make sure I don't do it again. I want to make sure that everyone's here to work together. Make sure that I learn from Sylvia because she is a bad mama jamma. Please shed some love to us, and I'm gonna listen.
Hey, it's a real privilege and a pleasure to be on the line here with you, and congratulations for almost 100 here in just 15 days of the month. That's pretty awesome. We're catching up behind you, so watch out. That's bro, and I'm right behind you. Aaron and I, we're catching up. We put some competition on to be ready for, and that's good for all of us. Pretty cool. No, I mean, here's the thing with everyone here, opportunity to be that part of that leadership as well. Humble and there's a lot of what we call radical humility, and I just heard this term today. Dr. Wayne, who's a very, very well-known spiritual teacher, he called it radical humility, where between that, someone that has radical humility, but really they know that they are going to do. They don't have to brag about it because they know what their purpose is, so they can keep it to themselves and work on being a person and serving their purpose here in life to serve others. I really believe that there's super radical humility here in the leadership, which is that's pretty much we need to remove the same time. Leadership is very, and as much as possible, ego-less. It's what really happened to me and Aaron here to this, because you can go to a lot of history and like you're the king or queen of Emma making $200,000 a month, which that's success. And that takes a while in MLM, the traditional MLM building things. That is success. And you know what? You're happen to obviously have the possibility of making undertaking leverage kind of business that runs 4/7. The top, what all the top leaders are in 15K form, the master's course. That's where it all is. Looking at this business as a hobby, I mean, you really have to invest in your success, and that's where it all is. And courses, modules, I mean, you're looking to make that kind of income on each sale. So, I mean, all the leaders know that we got to be in the are at the master sport level. You know, for me, just we're born on the keyboard. Same like we all, had to learn and determination and we have a purpose and we are attached to the process. We want to fill that purpose and walk our destiny. Do the process to get there, and what the difference is for those that don't get to the level of income that they want or what they expect for them. Like you said, there's a level and so continue either a learning process, stepping stone for that long way to get to really is for everyone. It's for those that understand like you and like we all have a different life and it isn't for everyone. I mean, that's anybody down, but at the end of the day, for the I want to give back and give back to curious life. At the end of the day, somebody has to be to and please don't take that the wrong way, any kind of statistical way. And I think it's true. It is purpose. Some of those people absolutely love what they're doing, and they feel like they're living their life. God's plan is for them. They're happy and they're joyful and they're giving back. That's all that matters. And so for me, and I know for you and all here in the room and Chris and me, and to give back. And we're passionate, love what we're doing. We kind of enjoy doing it. And so that's our life purpose. It's just different than someone else's. It doesn't make us better than someone else. It just makes it different, and that's all it is. I mean, I remember, the days where, I lived in a 400 square foot apartment, and I just had become a single mom, and I knew there was something bigger for me in life, and I was down on my knees praying, to God, what do you have in store for me? Please bring it to me. I'm willing to do what you want, as long as it's for the highest good of everyone involved, and it's a win-win situation for everybody, and it's in a way that I'm interested, passionate, and I love to do, and that I love to serve. And she brought this industry, my heart brought this industry to me as a vehicle to serve my life's purpose. Like you said, Lauren, the more money that we can make and the more money that we can flow, it's all about giving back. It's not for us to hoard and keep our bank accounts and feel good to drive around. It's nice to have, houses and cars and everything, but ultimately our purpose is really to give back and to give back so that everybody wins. I know that's my life purpose, and for many of us it is. So, I feel very, very blessed that, going from that 400 square foot apartment to now being able to some homes and property and have a pretty nice investment portfolio, and very blessed to have this industry as a vehicle to provide for our family, but also to give back in so many ways through charitable organizations that that are near and dear to our heart. I mean, that's what I wake up for every morning. I mean, I wake up not only just to give back monetarily, but to be generous in every way, and then generous with my time as well. That's ultimately goal is become completely hands off with the business, so that I can give back my time, not just money. So thanks for having a call.
Yeah, you are a freaking rock star. You are a rock star. You would always talk about me being so Asian. I'm not sure if I mean, I think you made enough money for a long enough time to get the frugalness out of you. But I still have shirts that have holes in them. I still dress like a college student. My wife is trying to like, she actually hides and donates some clothes so I don't look like a college kid anymore. I'm Asian. And no joke, my daughter dropped our iPad that we won from the Empower Network. It has sentimental value because it says #1 Empower Network earner, I think November 2012 or whatever it was. And she shattered the glass, but it was like a crack. I went to the Apple store. Apple was like, hey, look, it'll cost you $300. We'll fix it for you. Myself and my wife looked at each other like, it ain't that bad. So we didn't fix it. Even though we're making a ridiculous amount of money, we're not going to buy a new iPad. We're not going to fix the iPad that was given to us. We're just not going to do it because the money is not going to be who we are. We want to show people that, right? People who have grown up with me know Lawrence Tam is a appropriation because growing up, I never bought soft drinks, not because I don't like sugar, because I didn't want to spend money on soft drinks. Right? I would go to a restaurant with my wife, I would never order a drink. She's like, well, you don't order like tea or anything like that. It's like, well, it's like $2. I can just get one, right? So even to this day, when I think about buying a drink, it's like, oh man, water's free. You know what I'm saying? But like one of my good partners, and I want to break into this, is one of the cool things with Empower Network is the fact that, not that there's so many cool people, it's the fact that you can actually rub shoulders with them at events. I have been privileged to work with a man named Shakir Sin, hailing out of UK. He's one of my dear friends after, just a couple months, it seems like, right? He's actually my Mr. X that I've been working with. And he always tells me, you need to raise your financial thermostat. So I want everyone on this call to raise your financial thermostat. What is your financial thermostat? Your financial thermostat is what you believe you're worth. And if you don't believe you're worth that, how do you increase your financial thermostat? Increase your value. Increase your value. How do you increase your value? Download a book into your brain, watch some videos, or do something, fail at it, learn from it. See, you can teach people what not to do, and you're teaching them. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. I failed at this. Don't do that. Or you can go, I've tested this, here's some case studies, here's what I learned. If you raise your financial thermostat, you will bring the people around you higher to bigger levels. See, I didn't think I was a $12,000 a month earner until I met people who go, $12,000 a month is weenie. Right? There's not many people in engineering who will come to me and go, Lawrence, $12,000 a month is weenie. It took David Smith and David Wood to go, you're a $30,000 minimum baller. Why are you not there? Because I didn't feel like I had enough value. I started to invest in myself, and this is where you have the perfect opportunity to invest in yourself. Buy the products like the Inner Circle. Freaking download the audios. Put them in your phone. Put them in your iPad. Put them in your iPod. Put them in your car. Listen to them daily. The reason you want to do this is because most people don't absorb the information you get the first time because who can, right? Most of us can't do that. So you need multiple exposures to learning. Get the Costa Rica Intensive, get the 15K, because that's a true how-to. If you want to see how people are actually the things they're doing, you want to look over get the 15K formula. That is the 15K formula. Obviously, Aaron Rashton, Chuck Marshall, Mac, Shakir, myself, Kobe Black, Tracy Walker, Chris Jones, Tony Rush. We're doing the 150, 250 a month plan. How do you do that? It's called the Masters Program. You need to go ahead and get the Masters Program because if you don't get it, then you're going to be like, what's it like to make $30,000 a month? See, you won't know because you don't go through that program, which is designed to take someone from zero all the way 250 and beyond, right? It's really to help you raise your financial thermostat. And once you do that, you then are tasked to do certain things to get you there. Here's an example. If you believe your job in life is to make $5 an hour cleaning toilets, how much do you think you're going to do to improve your job performance? Are you going to learn the septic tank schematics? You think you're going to call up the city inspector to inspect toilets? No, you're going to just clean the toilet because that's what you're doing for $5 an hour. And that's cool. But if you're worth $5,000 an hour due to consulting, and you have a client who's going to call you next week, what do you think you're doing by the time your call comes next week? What do you think you're doing 5 years from now when you're worth $5,000 an hour? You get it. You're going to increase your value. See, if you want to be a $100,000 a month earner, you must increase your value so people get value from you. We're not here to make sales and run. People go, Lawrence, you're just going to take my money and run. No, I've been here for years. Okay, I've been here for years grinding it, and I'm going to show you the process of how I don't grind anymore using systems. So if you raise your financial thermostat and you want to make $10,000 a month, what have you learned, right? What do you know about Empower Network that allows you to make $10,000 a month? You know Empower Network has a blog. You know Empower Network has a capture page. You know the fact of what a lead is. Do you actually listen every Monday to our Empower Hour calls? See, if you don't increase your value, how can you over-deliver on the services rendered? Here's what I mean. You want to be the person who sells something, and when someone buys it, they go, dang, I got to steal. Wow, that is awesome. And that's exactly what you want to do. If you don't do that, then people will not value your time, not value the product you sell, not value your recommendations. But if you increase your value, read books, watch different things, model different leaders, and one way to do it, go to events like the one coming in Austin. I've been able to actually work in touch and hang out with one of my first people I modeled, which was Tony Rush. I met Tony Rush in a message forum. I think it was the Rich Dad Poor Dad forum. I was first learning about forum marketing, and he was always there. And he had great value. He was never really pitching at all. The only time he had a link was in his signature. That was the way you did it. You gave value, and then people read your stuff, either went to your profile or looked at your signature. He just gave so much value. So when someone read his stuff, they're like, I think I owe you something now. They see his signature, they click it, and then they buy from him. See, but he gave without want. He didn't only give value just for the fact that someone would actually click and buy something from him. He gave it because he wanted to put it out there. I was able to meet Tony at Empower Network. So once I started learning, like, wow, Empower Network has something that really I didn't really expect. Being able to meet industry leaders. I mean, legends, basically. Aaron Sophia, Tony Rush. I mean, I've been able to work with Tracy now again because now she's actually coming to understand that this is a powerhouse and she's like, man, I'm all in. Now Nicole Cooper, I was talking to Mark Barrett. I mean, we're just talking to all these different people. It's like, man, you can meet some freaking awesome people in Empower Network. I don't want any other platform where you can, in your second event, have about 3,000 people show up for an internet company. Think about that. An internet company in their very second event, less than a year old, had 3,000 people. How many people do you think you get to meet that are just cool marketers? And so once I learned that, I was like, wow, I want to go to events just to freaking learn from people. I want to sit down and listen to what Tony Rush is saying. I want to sit down and see what Nicole Cooper is going to say. I want to sit down and just talk to Chris Campbell. And it's so cool because the people, there's no, one of my mentors called it peacocking. You're not going to have a guy come around and go, hey, look, clap on stage because I make X, Y, Z amount. That's not me. That's not how I grew up. My people beat me to a living pulpit. That was me. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to be the guy who's going to go be peacocking. That's not who I am. And I'm going to show you that Empower Network is like a family. I mean, it is definitely like a family. And that Empower Network really is a system built on users. right? It's not built on people who just own systems. It's people who are actual users. David Wood and David Sharp are actually affiliates with the system. They make their money by actually doing exactly what they teach you. You want to make over $400,000 in 3 months, just like David Wood, David Sharp did? Do what they teach you. So I want to, well, I don't know if he's coming in, but I want to leave you with this. I was watching this from Tony Robbins, and it alluded, I kind of had an open loop, if you kind of saw that. I want to give you the 4-step thing that it kind of really helps me understand what Empowered Network is. First step is belief. If you have belief, you will actually take some action. So belief, once you have belief, you take action. Once you have action, if you go ahead and do a lot of it, you have momentum. Once you have momentum, you have results. But it cycles back because, see, once you have results, you have more belief. Now think about that. If you believe that this system can help you make $100,000 in 2 weeks, how hard would you work? If you knew it could pay you $100,000 in 2 weeks, how hard would you work? Right? Oh, let me bring out one of the leaders in power. Let me bring him in.
Hey, I need the...
Toby, you're on the call with a couple thousand people on our network. We'll talk about business. You're on the Empower call. This is the man, Toby Black. He does not on the call a lot because he's always masterminding doing things. Toby Black is just a guy who basically made me the man who's making $100,000 in 2 weeks. Toby Black is the guy I met at an event. At an event, we're different teams at an event, and I go, hey, man, you want to drink a beer? Cool. And he goes, hey, look, what's your favorite beer? My favorite beer is a black and tan. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. I don't drink a lot, but I'll drink a black and tan with you. Toby Black is a fantastic marketer. He's I think he's like number 8 all-time in incomes earned, and he hasn't done anything in literally 8 months. Toby, do you have anything to share with the thousands of people right now on call right now?
Absolutely, I do, and that's why we love you, LT, because you're just spur of the moment kind of guy. Bring it away, and I said, right, by the way, before I get into what I'm about to share, LT, text me the physical address of our company right after this, and we'll try to wire the money. Guys, I want to jump on here quickly since LT threw me out and say a couple of different things. The first thing is, no matter if you're brand new to making money online or you've been in the game for a while failing, Empower Network, hands down, 100%, is the easiest and fastest way to make money from home and from the internet, period, space. Layla and I, October of last year, created a little bit in marketing, and then our focus went elsewhere, where we've been able to do over $250,000. 100% part-time is what we say. Now we're realigning our focus again to come out. You'll see our faces a lot more. We're going to be heavily involved in the community, and we're addicted to helping people create their first $10,000 month, $10,000 day, $10,000 hour, and with D-Squared, with Wood and Sharp, and the whole team that they're putting together there, think yourself lucky to be at a place and time where we have this. None of us have really seen it before on the internet before. None of us have seen an opportunity like this online, breeding culture, breeding massive checks, and breeding top leadership coming out from people that have never had results before. It's really, really powerful. We're very excited to be here. Dave, we love you guys very much. Thank you for everything that you guys have done. And Layla and I are ready to take it up another notch and get back to that number 2 spot of total income. And back to you, LG.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I'll get you that information. That is Toby Black, and here's something I really want to impress upon you. People think I'm number 1 because I sponsor the most people. That is actually incorrect. I think I'm like 8. I think Aaron and Sophia's actually sponsored more than us. I think I'm 8 overall. Toby, I think I've sponsored like 800 people. I sponsored like 550. I sponsored Toby. One person, I think Toby has passed up about $60,000 to me in a year. And he did it like 2 hours a month, sometimes 0 hours a month, because he's so focused on the industry. He's coming back now because I'm like, dude, did you see the checks? So he's like, oh, snap, let me go ahead and try that again. So he's now refocused. But he out-sponsored me by almost 50%. of 500 to 750, he's sponsored me by more than 50%. Here's one thing I want to drive home to the entire community of Empower Network. If you sponsor somebody, your job is to never be passed up by the people who are in your teams. So, knowing Toby has a good 300-person lead on me, guess what I'm doing? I want to catch Toby. That's kind of crazy to hear from someone who's a number one income. I'm like, no. It's called friendly competition. I don't want the person I brought into the business to outperform me. Just like David wouldn't want me to outperform them. And if I did, fantastic, they make more money. But it's kind of like, look, if you're in the business, if you're Power Network just one day before the person you brought in, you actually have one more day of experience. Right? You have one more day of experience. That should be enough for you to never let your team members outperform you. I'm going to say it out loud. I will never let another person outperform me.